What is going on, Jerome's? Now that the smoke is cleared on the 2023 NFL draft, we're going to take a look at the Vikings roster as of right now. But taking it back further, the Vikings, even though they came in $14 million over the salary cap, Kwesi was able to make some moves and do a couple of things. The players are gone. Patrick Peterson not re-signed. Dancer waived. Thielen cut. Kendricks cut. Diesel Dalvin Thompson allowed to sign with the Browns. Irv is gone. Duke Shelley signed with the Raiders for just above the league minimum. Chris Boyd is also gone. Then the Vikings ran it back with Harrison Smith, who took almost a 50% pay cut. Garrett Bradbury back on a 3-year deal. A bunch of key backups around back on the Vikings, like Mullins, like Madison, who could be running back one. Who knows? Ellefson, Willekes, Jordan Hicks redid his deal to stick around. Schlutman, Oli Udoh, Jonathan Bullard as well. Plus Andrew DePaulo, the highest guaranteed for a long snapper in NFL history. And then Greg Joseph also got some money. And then in open free agency, bringing in Josh Oliver, the former third-round pick tight end, one of the best blocking tight ends in the game, if not the best, bringing some attitude as well as some soft hands. Supple to tight end 2. Marcus Davenport, the high upside edge rusher coming in from the Saints, a 1-year, $13 million deal. Byron Murphy, following his former mentor, Patrick Peterson, on the cycle. Can't wait till Byron Murphy signs with the Steelers next, but he's going to come in and play some outside and slot cornerback for the Vikings. Dean Lowry bolstering the defensive line. Brandon Powell, the tricky wide receiver 4 or 5, as well as punt returner. Troy Reeder, a solid linebacker for a number of years with the Rams, spent last year with the Chargers, as well as Joanne Williams, the lengthy former second-round Vanderbilt cornerback, coming in for cornerback depth. And then for the Vikings draft, Addison, yes, still counting Hockenson, don't care. Mekhi Blackman on the outside. Jay Ward, tackling Jay Ward. Carry on my Jay Ward son. Nailed it. Jaquelin Roy, Roy Kent coming on in, helping bolster the defensive line. Jaron Hall. I'm not ready to say that he's going to be a starter at any point in this league, but I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued by his upside. And also Dwayne McBride, the Russian champ, bolstering the Vikings running back room. Also, one of the most star-studded UDFA classes in NFL history until next year. But Andre Carter, Ivan Pace Jr., Malik Knowles I like a lot, Thayer Thomas as well. Our guy Jackie Chen, woo, let's go, man. Let's go. So taking a look as of right now, the Vikings have 88 players on the 90-man roster. They could fill that out with a couple of guys, I'm sure, at rookie camp that are going to impress. But in the quarterback room, Kirkwood, Jerome, Ezekiel Cousins remains. And I think that they could revisit extending Kirk on a 1-year deal, just sort of kicking the can down the road. Nick Mullins is back. Jaron Hall is super intriguing. I think that he may push Nick Mullins for QB2. It's a little bit of a hot take. Running back room is crowded right now. Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison is back, but who knows what's going to happen with Dalvin? Is he going to be traded? Is he going to be cut? $10.4 million base salary, $2 million guaranteed. We'll see. Can he be more than just a kick returner? Possibly. Ty Chandler, who I think he's going to make an impact, man. I like him as a third down, sort of a scat back. And then Dwayne McBride, he's a 2-down guy, although he didn't really have opportunity to run the ball, or catch the ball at UAB. CJ Ham, the fullback, re-signed, and you absolutely love to see that. Wide receivers, so Jefferson, yes. Addison, yes. KJ in a contract year is going to be hungry. Jalen Reagor, I don't know, man. Brandon Powell, Jalen Naylor, last year's 6th-round pick, showed well towards the end of the season. And then Tristan Jackson, Blake Prohl, back again for some competition. Cephas Johnson III, former quarterback at Southeast Louisiana. Is he going to come in as like a Wildcat Joe Webb, Taysom Hill type player? Maybe. Malik Knowles, like we mentioned, from K-State. I like him a lot. Thayer Thomas, super shifty slot receiver as well as punt returner. Very interesting there. Tight end room is jacked and stacked. Hockenson and Oliver, I think IMO, the best tight end duo in the National Football League. And then you got Johnny Munt, the blocking veteran. Ellefson is back. Nick Muse, last year's 7th-round pick out of South Carolina, as well as Ben Sims out of Baylor, the Black and Baylor tight end. Offensive line, they basically ran it back. So left to right, Darisaw, Ezra, Bradbury, Ed Ingram, and Brian O'Neill. Now, Ezra's in a contract year. Ed Ingram hopefully will make a leap in year 2. And Bradbury hopefully continues on the upward trajectory with this scheme as well as with this coaching staff. And then you got Brandel Sockel, last year's UDFA out of Sacred Hat. Schlutman is back as the interior swing backup. Chris Reed is back as well. Oli Udoh. I think they re-signed Oli Udoh just as a hedge in case Brian O'Neill's Achilles comeback is a little bit slow, but that's fine. Vidarian Lowe, tackle project selected last year out of Illinois. And then our guy Jackie Chen out of Pace. And then Alan Ali, the TCU center, formerly of SMU. Defensively, that's the wrong one. Took away the Chiron. Defensively, so along the defensive line, it gets super interesting. So you got Bullard back. You got Harrison Phillips on the nose for now. Like I said, ideally, I would like to move him off the nose, have him play more of a 5-tech, 3-tech, 4-tech role. And Dean Lowry at the other 5-tech as of right now. And then it's anyone's guess, because Asazio Tamuo in year 2 deserves a lot more work. Kairos Tonga did well in spurts at the nose last year. Ross Blacklock, former second-round pick out of TCU, Vikings traded for last offseason, or during the season last year. Jaquelin Roy is going to be in the mix. I think that his true calling is going to be pass-rushing nose tackle. I've said that a bunch. Willikis and Lynch, Sheldon Day, and Calvin Avery, the 340-pound nose tackle coming out of Illinois, brings up the rear with a gear. Edge rusher. So I don't know if Za'Darius is going to be back this year. I doubt it. So looking at Daniil and Davenport, also I think that DJ Wanham in a contract year could really step up. Patrick Jones II, I know is going to step up. Love him. Luigi Villain in year 2 was on the 53 all last year. Obviously they like him to a degree. Weaver and Whitley are futures contracts, and then you got Andre Carter II, who, I mean, Carter might take 2 or 3 years to develop, but I think he's in a great spot. There's literally no pressure, where there would be a ton if he was a first or day 2 pick. So I think that Carter is in a perfect spot. Learn from guys like Za'Darius if he's back. Daniil, Marcus Davenport, as well as Schmitty is a hell of a outside linebackers coach, and he doesn't need to contribute. He may be on the practice squad for 2 years. Who knows? Off-ball linebacker. So it's about the same. You do have Asamoah, you do have Jordan Hicks in there. I do think Hicks is it's gonna be like a hammer and anvil situation. Hicks is gonna hold it down, stopping the run. Hopefully he's not in coverage too much, and Asamoah is gonna do Asamoah things. Troy Dye, nice backup, good special teams player. William Kwenku out of Temple, maybe he gets some run. Troy Reeder, I think this is one of the more sleeper ones. I wouldn't be shocked if Troy Reeder gets a little bit of run on defense there. Ivan Pace Jr., I think is going to be the guy in 2 or 3 years. I think Pace and Asamoah bring, yes, both undersized, but a lot of heat, a lot of fun, and I think they are the modern off-ball linebackers. I think Pace Jr. as like a London Fletcher, Sam Mills, easy Ed McDaniel adjacent type player, yes. And then also got Abraham Beauplan and Wilson Huber, the 2 other UDFAs at linebacker. Huber and Pace were teammates at Cincinnati. Cornerbacks, so Murphy on the outside, round the outside, as well as Caleb Evans, Andrew Booth Jr., last year's 4th and 2nd round picks, respectively, coming back from injuries. Kalon Barnes in the mix. Joanne Williams is aboard. Mekhi Blackman, the 3rd round pick. I think that he's going to get a lot of opportunities out there. I think that he's going to be John. I think that he's going to start a couple training camp fights. I think it's going to be fantastic, man. Takeout in the mix, as well as the 3 UDFAs, Najee Thompson, CJ Colden, as well as Jalen Williams. And then the safety room. So safety is stacked as well as a little bit bare at the same time, mainly because it could be the last season of Harrison Smith. Cam Beasley, I don't know how he's going to translate to this defense. I think that it could make sense, but last year, even though he played the majority of the snaps, Metellus is in contract year, high-end special teamer, special teams captain. Could he break into the rotation on defense? Who knows? Theo Jackson played some good special teams last year. Lewis Seen, of course, a former first-round pick coming back from that broken leg, could be the wild card, as well as Jay Ward, the tackling machine. Carry on, my Jay Ward son, coming out of LSU, going to be a high-end special teamer, and then eventually could break in in the starting lineup. We didn't list specialists, but they signed some jabroni kicker, UDFA out of Georgia. Guy who won 2 natties, and I think that he's good. But 4 specialists right now for the Vikings. The battery of Ryan Wright and Greg Joseph and Andrew DePaula still is fixed right there. But that's it. That's a deep dive on the Vikings' current 90-man roster. Currently 88 players on there. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.